Right, so Lost is gone. We've had the finale. I liked it. I know a lot of people are out there thinking they're going to get bounty hunters on the creators, which is fine. You know, it split a lot of people, but I liked it, and it's just there's a big gap. You know, I don't know what to do with my timetable now. I have no idea what to watch. So it's given me a bit of an idea, and I'm thinking of this is the time for the fans to pitch Lost 2. But I've got a few ideas how we can pick up where Lost left off. So we'll sort of set it 30 years in the future would be a start. We'll use sort of a new generation, so like Aaron, Walt, Jin and Son's unloved daughter. There'll also be a lot of the old characters. Sawyer and Miles would be running a successful psychic detection agency, which is quite often leased by the feds because they're good and they like their maverick renegade approach to things. Be following a lead hairdressers who in some flashes later we find out used to be the hairdresser of Eloise Hawking and Bernard, and it'd lead them to the Santa Rosa mental institution where Claire's in there. Yeah, she's now drawing visions of the future in her own blood and feces, and unknown to Miles and Sawyer, this is a task by the now influenced by Ben Stalin-esque Hurley, who's gone power mad, and he's using the island as a recruitment centre for his now world dominant chain of Mr. Clucks. You know, just plots like that where we can really sort of reaffirm ourselves with the characters and everything. I'd also like to move the island again to mix things up to the now not so tropical off the shore Grimsby, which would be great just to mix up the scenery, you know. And like I say, if we can get people like Miles and Sawyer back to the island, I think they'd really feel comfortable there in the trigger happy, no emotion, no consequence of killing someone island life. Walt and Miles meet, you know, they have a 3-episode sort of battle royale showdown, which we find out actually takes place in their mind. Sort of side story about Aaron going off to well, wherever, you know, it doesn't really matter, but he finds a new Dharma station, the Slug, and they're using to see what the effects of salt were on the island. Unwillingly, he activates a 60-year-old robot, which the Dharma were using for the experiments, and they were sort of goes a bit crazy and tries to harvest the light of the island to give itself a renewable energy source. You know, I don't want to give too many spoilers away because that's the beauty of Lost. Just think sentience, Shannon, robot, all, you know, we'll work that out. There'll be new stuff as well on the island, obviously, but we want to stick with the classic Lost causes, so themes like light and dark, balance, things like that, choice. Although Hurley's gone a bit crazy, you know, you need that bad, good and evil in everything, so we'll have a new monster, Jack. Vincent and Jack have amalgamated, and basically he's a bit like a Quato figure from Total Recall. So what he does is he randomly teleports in places as they get near, you know, trusting Jack, because he's saying this is what he's supposed to do and stuff. What happens is the limp, flaccid, lifeless corpse of Vincent, which hangs from his torso, springs to life, and if he deems them unworthy, he'll just maul them to death, or just fling them, you know, hurtle them into the jungle, which is, you know, classic monster stuff there. And we're gonna look into old mysteries, new mysteries, sideline where the supply drop for the Dharma has actually been Lupita's long lost brother. Why women can't get pregnant on the island, which I've yet to do. There'll be a new statue of Locke erected. We find out that underneath a temple is loosely what Pac-Man was based on, a talking door that requires people to answer 3 riddles to get through it, and when they get through it they find out it's a new hatch that looks exactly like the inside of Arnold Schwarzenegger's house. You know, there's a lot of things we can do with this. A musical episode where the cast sing and dance, and float. Someone says the numbers backwards, which resurrects Mikhail. A cave where souls go, weighed against the heart of Alfred Hitchcock. We had the lighthouse, which was how Jacob obviously could see the characters through their lives. We find out there's other ways. For instance, he actually pilots Ben Affleck. He can control Ben Affleck, and he's been piloting him around, watching things, and murdering people. Hurley's powers. I want him to have more powers. Kate, and she actually has her feet are just they're like two badgers, fully formed, not like the feet of a badger. Two actual badgers. So she has to walk around on badgers. You know, it's not a continuation of the 6 seasons. This is Lost 2. So that's what we've got to really think about when we do this. Encoding it all with the usual, religious and literary subtext that Lost so good at putting in the background. So, for instance, the opening shot could be Hurley sat on the island, which would be a logical place to take off with him in the new job. Reading a Where's Wally book, which would hammer in, ideas of isolation and belonging and things like that. So I want to see some of the things like a few cameos from stars doing, say, something about Scientology in the background, just really paralleling the ideas of how if you base your whole belief system on a science fiction novel, it's in no way a religious experience. It would be to sort of, for us the fans, to get together, and as Lost has been so good for, is letting the fans help develop it. I think if we get this to ABC and if you guys can get more ideas into this, I think we've got another 6 seasons that could be really exciting.